Works of faith are, I respond to God in obedience to His Word out of a love for God and an appreciation for what Jesus Christ has done for me. And so two people can actually do the same things, and one will be pleasing to God and the other one will be rejected by God. It's because God's interested in where is our heart. Why are we doing it? Do we understand that Jesus has died for us and that is moving us to be obedient to Him? So in chapter 11, these are people before the cross, but he's using them as examples of people who had true, pure faith. So he says in chapter 11, verse 1, faith is the assurance of things hoped for. It's the conviction of things not seen. In verse 6, without faith, it's impossible to please God. For he who comes to God must believe that He is and that He's a rewarder of those who seek Him. We're seeking God. We're yearning for God. We're not just seeking this world. We're seeking God, a relationship with Him. So then he gives us some examples with Abel and with Enoch. And in verse 7, he says, by faith Noah, being warned by God about things not yet seen, in reverence prepared an ark. So did Noah prepare an ark by his own works or by faith? No, it's by faith he built the ark. Verse 8, by faith Abraham, when he was called, obeyed. So his faith moved him. In verse 30 is the easiest one. In verse 30 says, by faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they'd been encircled for 7 days. So did the walls of Jericho fall down by faith or because they'd been encircled for 7 days? The answer is yes, both. It's by faith that they did those things. And the writer to the Hebrews is telling them that's what we need to do with our faith. Genuine faith produces change in how we live. Paul says, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision means anything but faith working through love. When he writes to the Thessalonians, he says, I thank God, always keeping in mind your works of faith, labor of love, steadfastness of hope, works of faith. So faith puts out like a fire, like you got a campfire going that puts out heat. If you have a tree and you plant it, it puts out fruit. For us as Christians, our lives change because of our life with Jesus, and we continue to serve God, live for God, but it's all because of what Jesus has done for us, not what we're doing somehow to merit our salvation.